Thank you. Good morning, and we welcome you down here for our assembly this morning, and we are super excited to be able to have some of our alumni back. It's always good when we can have students and family members be able to come home and talk with us and share with us about their experience here at Gosh County High School and beyond. And we appreciate all of them being here this morning. They mean a lot to our school and our community. And we appreciate them taking the time to come out and speak with you this morning. Again, we are down here for that, so I know that you understand and are aware of our expectations when we have guests. So again, without further ado, I would like to introduce and welcome Ms. Janaya Worthen. She's going to introduce our first speaker.
Good morning. My name is Janaya Worthen. Today, I have the honor of introducing someone very special to me, my brother, David Gordon. He is a proud South Georgia native, a Georgia Tech student and athlete, and someone who has never let his circumstances define his future. Through discipline, faith, and relentless work, he has become a leader on the field, in the classroom, and in business. He is a devoted father, driven every day to build a legacy for his son and his family. Please join me in welcoming my brother, David Gordon.
Good morning. I'm not like a speech type of person. I just wanted to give y'all some words of encouragement, mainly to like the seniors, because I know like majority of y'all know what y'all gonna do, what y'all want to do. Like how life will look 5 years from now, because I've been on like 5, 6 years now, so like time flying. But honestly, when I walk these halls, I ain't play basketball, but I watch the games, play ball here, football here, I enjoyed it. Seen a lot of change, dealt with a lot, dealt with COVID, gotta have to deal with that. Split schedules, stuff like that. Got told I wasn't good enough majority of the time, wasn't fast enough, wasn't top enough, wasn't big enough. That type of stuff, like the underdog story, y'all know how I be. But I never let it affect like my personality, you know, my will to continue, my desire to win, and just like my overall like well-being. Like I'm never a down person. I'm always smiling. I think that's my problem. But I kind of enjoy it, man. Like Damani just said, I got my bachelor's in supply chain. I know y'all know what that is. I'm finishing my master's in May. But like to be honest, my story here at Dodge is really why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, growing up in a rural county, you know, farms, fishing. I know y'all my fish. You know that. And then like just stuff like that, man. But the more of the story is, but just be who you gonna be. Don't try to be nobody else. Like the people that majority of y'all living up today living the life that you think they're living outside of what they put on social media. So just be yourself. Listen to your teachers, listen to your counselors, listen to your parents mainly. Because obviously they're gonna live to see past what you have seen. So, you know, just be great young people and yeah, just take every day one step at a time. Because like all y'all will be successful in your own way. Like success it's not defined by like how much money you made, like how many followers you got, none of that stuff. It's just be you. Because I'm gonna be me at the end of the day, like regardless. So I'll just push y'all to be y'all selves. And then y'all the next generation anyways. Y'all gonna be helping me make some money. So like I really need y'all to lock in. All y'all, like every class. And yeah, just like I said, just be yourself. Like by show of hands, who know what they want to do in 5 years? Like just raise your hand. Good. All the young kids, bro, like the seniors don't know what they want to do. And that's fine. That's fine. But what I'm getting at is it's okay to not know. It's okay not to know what you want to do right now. Because you guys know a lot of things. I leave anything with y'all today is just, like I said, be yourself and just be great young people and continue to strive to be the greatest person you can be, because that's all you can do nowadays, honestly. So, yeah, I know that wasn't that long. I know y'all probably want to hear a little more, but like I said, I'm not a big speech guy. Y'all know me outside of this, so I'm here if anybody needs me. Ms. Orange got my number, so go by Ms. Orange's class if y'all want to chat and just ask her for my number. And I'm fine with her giving it out. Like, I talk to people all the time, like, I'm fine with that. Like, mentor, I can be a mentor. Because, like, all that, like, it's about just giving back and finding a way to, lead the next generation. So, yeah, just reach out if you want to talk. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, whatever. However you need to reach out, reach out. Because, I got a story to tell. I ain't got enough time to tell it today, but you got you got a nugget of it, a little piece of it. So, yeah, just reach out if you want to talk. Figure out who I am as a person outside of like football and Georgia Tech. Cause like I said, I got a story and I love to tell it. So yeah, that's it, man. And to hell with Georgia, because I know the majority of y'all Georgia fans. So yeah, I'll leave that there. Thank y'all.
Good morning, DCHS. My name is and this month is Black History Month. And for this cause, I want to present someone to you all. She's the daughter of Michael and Faye McClain, sister of Sarday and Lorenzo McClain and myself. Starting with high school, she graduated as an undergraduate from DCHS in 2011. She graduated from Valdosta State University with Bachelor of Science in Nursing in 2017 and a Master of Science in Nursing in 2021. Introducing my big sister, Sabrina Angelica McClain, certified family nurse practitioner.
Good morning. You can do better than that. Good morning. All right. How many of you are familiar with what a nurse practitioner does? Okay, we got some in the building. There's not a room I enter where I don't see a young girl or a guy who wants to be a nurse. How many future nursing majors we got out there? Right those orange crowd. Next generation of nurses, nurse practitioners. All right, so y'all are in for a lot of work, okay? It does not come easy. So what do I do as a nurse practitioner? So I'm a family nurse practitioner, but my specialty is pediatrics. I provide comprehensive all-around care to newborns, infants, toddlers, small kids, teens, and young adults. Do I like my job? Absolutely. I love the opportunity to give each day to interact with families and establish relationships. I love to continue care. The downside, working weekends, as my job has an after-hours clinic. So on the weekends, we not only see our patients, but we see other providers' patients, and that can be quite busy. Another downside is a lot of charting. Sometimes it's so busy in the office, we don't have the opportunity to chart. So guess what you gotta do? You gotta pull out that laptop and chart at home. So one of the things I've had to learn is I've had to establish a work-life balance. All right, let's see. So currently I work at a private practice with locations in Thomaston, Barnesville, and Columbus, Georgia. I started in this position as a nurse practitioner February 7, 2022, 3 days after passing my certification exam. So before I passed my nurse practitioner test, I already had my job lined up. So it was really important that I pass that test so that I could secure my job and get that income. All right, so what do I do? Most days, the main things I'm gonna do are well child checks and sick visits. So during that well child check exam, I'm going to discuss healthy eating with parents, anticipated behaviors in particular age group, behaviors and special measures for change. We're going to discuss milestones, and vaccines, and if we don't get vaccines, we're going to discuss other reasons to refuse. Sick visits. I'm going to do my assessment, prescribe meds for acute illness, and discuss over-the-counter medications and their needs with parents. So every day, I assess patients, I order and explain diagnostic tests. Whether that's an EKG, strep, RSV, flu, I diagnose Based on what I see, we're gonna develop a treatment plan. All right? And then some common antibiotics that we'll prescribe: amoxicillin, med, zithromycin, cefdivir, cephalax, clindamycin, Bactrim, and doxycycline. Gonna do a lot of patient education, especially for the parents with newborns and very small children. Again, stressing healthy eating, increasing physical activity, and a big one for y'all, when it's springtime. All right. So each day, how to start my day, I'm gonna open my screen, I'm gonna discuss my labs, call back some parents. I'm gonna go into my room, I'm gonna greet my parents, ask them what brings them in today, how long have they had any symptoms, any exposure, or was taking anything currently over the camera. So then I'm gonna do my exam. My assessment starts as soon as I enter their room. So as I enter that room, I'm listening to what the parents tell me. I'm looking at this child. Even as I do my exam, I'm looking and say, hey, is that child coughing like mom said? Do I hear that mucus from that cough? Do I see that nasal discharge? So I can go ahead and get my treatment plan ready. And then based on this information, I'm going to determine what I need for my test. I also do sports physical. So I'm trying to discuss the family history. I'm going to fill out that form and see if we can clear this kid to play the sport they want to play. One of the big ones, ADHD, anxiety, and depression. Assess, diagnose, treat, try to manage it. Sometimes things are a little bit more complex. So that is where we communicate with other disciplines like counseling, psychiatrists, if needed. So what steps to become a nurse practitioner? First, you have to complete an RN program. It's preferred for you to get some experience. So as stated, I completed my Bachelor of Science in Nursing at Boston State University. I worked as a neonatal NICU nurse from May 2017 to February 2022. Didn't really get an opportunity to take a break. Graduated May 6th. I started my job May 22nd. Since I started my job, I have not taken my test. I hadn't passed my test in 30 days to start the job. So if not, I would have to assume the responsibilities of the tech. I worked 3 12s before I went to take my RN test that Saturday morning. After 75 questions, my test cut off. So I had passed that test, and that's the least of my questions you could get. So hallelujah for passing that test and starting my journey there. So as a neonatal NICU nurse, during this time, I attended multiple deliveries. You go to every C-section. You'll go to a vaginal delivery if that child is high risk. Failure to progress, not progressing as it should, or if there are, like decreased fetal hormones on that monitor. Held for circumcisions, did post-circumcision care teaching, discharge, newborn teaching with parents, CPR training. So yes, also administered nasal vaccines, started IVs, did oxygen therapy if needed, did assist with feedings, and a lot of assistance to parents, as they have a lot of questions on that period with a newborn. So my experience as a neonatal nurse was vital to my new role as nurse practitioner, because we see a lot of new babies, new parents, or parents who have not been new parents for a while, who may have a lot of questions. All right, let's see. So a little bit about the nurse practitioner program. You have to have 715 clinical hours. So that's like over a 2-year period. So outside of your coursework, not to mention you can't get lower than a B. Grad school, no B. Nothing less than a B. And if you get a C twice, you're out of the program. All right, so it's pretty intense. For my clinical hours, and I was a family nurse practitioner trained, most of my came on the books. So I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to specialize in children, but I couldn't do away with that. I had to get that experience. So most of my training was with adults. Got some experience with pregnant women in the OB setting, and my smallest amount was children. Since I did get as much with children, and I knew I wanted to continue to work with kids, my last semester I made sure that I specialized in a pediatric office. Let's see, so one of the main things with clinicals is that you want to apply things learned to a practice setting. You follow under the supervision of a preceptor who teaches you to assess, diagnose, and treat. It helps to develop confidence and improve your skills, but I do feel that the best training is the on-the-job training that you get after you graduate. You have a little bit more freedom. All resources. So I had to travel 1 hour, 40 minutes each day to Alma, Georgia. The smallest town, worked with a family practice doctor, got supervised him, but did I let that discourage me? No. I was gonna get up, drive my hour 40, get my training, and I was gonna get home. And then I also had to drive another 45 minutes to another adult location to get my hours there. The only experience that I got that was in town was with the pediatric rotation. Let's see. After completing the practical hours, as stated in your multiple exams, almost daily discussion posts, we had video and written discussion posts, and it's a lot of papers in grad school. So after all that, you take your certification exam. This exam differs from the RN program where with the RN exam, after 75 to 85 questions, if they feel like you know enough or don't know enough, it'll stop. This one, you gotta go through the whole 150 questions. So, and during this process, I became disciplined. After gaining 4 years of experience, I can say I'm confident, I'm sure. If I'm ever in a situation and I'm not 100% sure on the job, I do my research until I am sure. So, although you do your schooling, a lot of your learning does not stop when you hit that clock. Alright, this journey has been one of hard work and perseverance. At an early age, my parents and grandparents showed us through action the importance of hard work. I continue forward, not many excuses, continuing on the path to my expected end. I'm clinging to Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. So you're going to look back and time will have slipped through your fingers. Seek your goals. Let's see. Before high school graduation, the plan was to be a nurse. In high school in particular, it never crossed my mind I would set out nor become a nurse practitioner. 15 years ago, so let's just go back to February 2011. I was sitting where you seniors are, excited to graduate, but so nervous about the future. So my advice to all of you is to set realistic goals, plan. If you believe in prayer, pray. The favor and guidance of God is continually led our way. I was told nursing is hard to get into. It's a competitive program. You may be on the waiting list for a long time. The field is oversaturated with nurse practitioners. And I had to choose which boys I would lead. I applied to one program, the nursing program at Boston State. No waiting list. I secured my job before graduation as an RN and before passing my certification exam as a nurse practitioner. I let none of these things deter me, but I sought after the vision God had set for me. Believe in yourself, do the work, establish healthy relationships with peers, surround yourself with like-minded teams who share the same ambitions and goals, make good decisions and think for yourself. One piece of advice that I live by, it takes less to follow than it does to lead. All right? So, always remember that. I think about the first we had in nursing, Mary Mahoney, the first Black nurse to graduate from New England Hospital for Women and Children in 1879. The barrier she had to face was somebody like me to be here. It wasn't easy for her to do that and not be accepted because she looked different and had different values. Also, somebody else, let's see who else I got. Mary Seacole, she took care of soldiers during the Crimean War, and last my favorite, Harriet Tubman. She was a spy and an abolitionist, but also used herbal remedies to treat Union soldiers. So, the history of nursing is rich, and it started way before me, and I'm thankful for the pioneers who set the path so that I could be here. Had they not did what they did today, become leaders and completed their duty, things probably would be different. Celebrating Black History Month, always remember your story is continually being written. You have the opportunity to determine which direction your pen will write. Ask yourself, what story will you tell? Happy Black History Month before an evening.
some of you know as my brother. He was a 2022 honor graduate, senior superlative, and demonstrated his athletic prowess by playing both football and tennis while taking dual enrollment classes through Georgia Military College. He continued his academic and athletic journey at Albany State University, where he graduated cum laude with a degree in biology. In December 2025, my brother was also a valuable member of the Golden Rams football team. While earning his bachelor's degree, he is continuing his education in order to pursue a master's degree in biotechnology. Deeply committed to the world of sports, our speaker also helps with strength and conditioning, where he works with all athletes in every sport at Albany State University. My brother is a proud member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, where he puts in countless of community service in the Middle Georgia area. Now I can tell you about my version of LJ. We usually hang out at our Auntie Gwen's house, where we spend time running around in his truck, grabbing snacks, or heading to the barber shop when I need a haircut. Like any brothers, we definitely have our moments. We argue and fight until we both get in trouble, though he's usually the one who takes most of the heat. He also loves to tease me, which honestly gets on my nerves, but that's just how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my big brother, LJ, back.
What's going on? You know, you can have like your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your brother, your friends. They can have the most faith in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, it ain't gonna work. Cause it ain't them waking up in the morning, going to football practice, going to basketball practice, going to class, taking the test. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt to make an attempt. If you don't make an attempt, you already failed. I did have a little itinerary thing talk about, but yeah, it's a lot of bright faces over here, a lot of intelligent minds, I can feel it. It's Black History Month. And a little bit of my Black history is my grandfather. My full name is John Battle III. My grandfather, John Battle Sr. God bless his soul. He left us this past August, but he did leave behind a very, very, very great legacy. He helped bring the first Juneteenth celebration in. If y'all don't know what Juneteenth is the last day that the slaves were free, the last day the slaves were free. And when you think about it, it wasn't that much long ago. And it just helps me remember, we gotta keep on striving to be better, better people, better friends, better neighbors. Because the Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself. So, if I don't love my neighbor just because they don't look the same as me or they have come from a different background as me, who am I to judge? My grandfather, he was a really big staple in my life, and as time goes by, he was gone, it still builds up. I didn't even realize me and him had the same music taste. We both like Bob Marley. Who would have known? But yeah, a lot of people, they saw my grandfather, the old guy driving in the fly Cadillacs, that fly Corvette. And he meant business. Wherever he went, he meant business. At the Martin Luther King parades, he was always speaking. But everybody seen my grandfather as this big, I don't want to say angry, but it was just this persona about that everybody was it's a respect thing. But a lot of people don't realize my grandfather was a very loving man. He loved everybody equally, no matter what they looked like, what background they came from. My grandfather loved and respected everybody equally, and he stood on that. He stood on his business. But what a lot of people didn't get to see was the grandfather that me, my brother Dallas, the twins, Spencer and Baker got to see. Always, you walk in, he'll reach you with a little fist bump. Hey, how you doing? And we chilling. He'll turn on some basketball. He sees something that should have been a foul, he'll start yelling at you ain't there. Then he'll flip the channel. It's football. Let's say running back, or let's say the running back run over a linebacker. The linebacker this guy. Oh, you don't need to be out there. He's scared. You don't need to be out there. Then he'll flip some golf. Now, I don't know how you could trash talk some golf, but he ain't gonna get that, but he ain't got it. Then he'll turn to some tennis. And then it's so on and so forth. He would just find a way. My grandfather loved sports. He was a state championship coach. And at that time, around 1980, a black state championship coach wasn't real, common. My grandfather, he did it for the love of the game. He was a rebel, just for the love of the game. He was a teacher. He taught here, actually. He taught math. My grandfather actually was the first one to introduce me to my timetables. And I just look back on certain things like that, and I become more grateful for the time I had, the short time I had, because I'm only 21, but it feels like I'm amongst that now that I came back here and I see everything that's changed and everything that's up. It also taught me that you gotta give your people your flowers just while they're here, because you never know. You never know when it might be the last time you can hug them all around their neck or tell them to just say that I love you, you know what I mean? So, if you got a gripe with somebody, y'all got a grudge, it's never that deep. Trust me, it is never that deep. You gotta forgo much, forgive much, and forgive much. my cousin Janine, she hugged me around the neck. I want to say after, I think it was after his funeral, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna miss my black diamond." I was like, "Black diamond?" She's like, "Yeah, that was what Papa John used to call himself. Because we get on the Zoom calls, and the Zoom calls, everybody's so spread out. His name around in the little corner and say, Black Diamond. And I get to thinking, like, yeah, he black. But diamond. I start thinking, the stuff he been through, the time that he lived through, what made him the diamond that he became as a whole man. You see, my grandfather, he served in the Army, airborne infantry. So he was jumping out of planes in Vietnam, and he has a Purple Heart. So not only has he been through it, but I'm actually blessed to have the time with him, because Purple Heart means he was brave in getting that. He was brave in getting that. And he was raised during when civil rights was not really a thing for black people. So he had to deal with racism and prejudice. He had to walk into a different entrance to get some food. When he wanted to go to the movie theater, he had to sit in a different section. And it probably most likely wasn't as good as the other section. And so I just started thinking. He had a lot of responsibilities also. He helped raise like a bunch of his cousins. That's why they call him Uncle John. And I just think some more. I think about a diamond. A diamond is a product of just a lump of black coal. And it's that pressure and that heat that molds it into something that is unbreakable. It's unbreakable, undeniable. The most precious stone in the world. Now I want to ask y'all, be like a diamond, be unbreakable, be undeniable. Stand in that fire. We all go through something. I don't make through my battles. Everybody here is probably going through something right now, and they don't know how to express that. But I'm going to tell y'all that y'all are not alone. Nobody here is alone. Everybody here has it out there. You can talk to somebody. You have teachers here that care for you. You have principals that care for you. If they didn't care about you, they wouldn't be here right now. Stand in that fire, because God has a vision, and that vision is turning you into a diamond. So stand in that fire. Stand in that pressure. Please don't give up. When times are getting rough, that only means that it's almost over. It's not going to last forever. Nothing ever lasts forever. So be like a diamond. I want to leave y'all with a poem that really sticks with me. It's called See It Through, and I'll leave y'all alone, but I know y'all already get that class. All right, it's See It Through by Edgar Albert Guest. We're up against the trouble. Meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders. Let your feet take a brace. When this man trying to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fail, but you may conquer. See it through. Let the big clouds dodge you, and your future may seem grim. But don't let your nerves desert you. Keep yourself to fight and trim. If the worst is bound to happen, in spite of all you can do, running from it when I save it, see it through. Even hope may seem futile when with troubles are beset. But remember you are facing just what you have met. You may fail, but fall still fighting. Don't give up, whatever you do. Eyes front, head high to the finish, see it through.